You know, there's a lot of times in the supplement industry where people send me claims that a company's making and they're like, is this true? Like, how effective is this? How true is this claim? And 99% of the time I have to be like, listen, there's preliminary data that says that this is possible, absolutely, but it's still just a dietary supplement. This isn't a drug. You know, the claims that you can make with these products are not always that grand. Today, I have to kind of eat those words. Arc Immune from Glaxon is what I'm gonna be talking about today. And this is something that's like no one else is making anything even close to this. It has really some quite wild ingredients in there. And because they're a dietary supplement company, because they're regulated by the DSHEA and CFR 111, there's only certain claims that they can make. But as a third party here, today what I want to do is present some of the science, some of the data behind this product. Not go in as depth as Joey does on his YouTube, which if you want to check that out, you know, I'll definitely run over to their channel. He goes really deep dive. But to tell you a little bit about what is so cool about this product and so different about this from literally every other immune product out there. So without further ado, let's roll the intro and let's talk about what Arc Immune from Glaxon does for your immunity.
Welcome to PricePlow.
Now, most of the time you see immune products from other companies, you'll see vitamin C, you'll see zinc, copper, and the minerals totally make sense because if you're deficient in that, and we'll get to that later, that's important, but you start to see like a lot of ingredients in there that, I mean, they'll help boost your immunity, but really, like with most of these products, what they're doing when they boost your immunity is just making you a healthier individual. They're addressing deficiencies that you have in your body. Now, what Glaxon does with their formulas is always very different. Instead of looking at like, well, this is the category that we want to make and these are the ingredients that are within that category. How do we fit them into this product and make it a full-fledged product for you? They look at, well, this is the goal and what are the pathways in the body that address this goal and how can we exploit those pathways? Basically, they work kind of backwards is what most companies would do, but once you look at the way that they do it, it kind of seems more like everyone else is backwards. Let's talk about Glaxon and how they created Arc Immunity for you. Now, like I said, zinc, copper, absolutely important. They have these up at the top. They've got zinc biglycinate from Trax. 11 milligrams up here is going to be 96% of your daily value. And 1 milligram of copper, which is copper biglycinate chelate from Trax as well. These ingredients are not necessarily immune boosting on their own, but if you are deficient in zinc and copper, the data shows that immunity is definitely hit. So it's not so much that these ingredients boost immunity super hardcore, more that as an average American human, you probably are deficient in these ingredients and that's affecting your immunity. So obviously leading off from the top with a high quality version of zinc and copper, both are chelated, which means that your body can absorb them very well. It's going to be a great way to start. Now, let's move into the active ingredients down here and talk a little bit about what they did differently. The first ingredient you see here is agarikon, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce the fungi name. It's a mushroom powder at 500 milligrams. This product stacks really, really well with super shrooms or super greens because they actually use, the super shrooms run from the one product in the super greens as well, which is 7 different mushroom powders. Now, mushroom powders are highly helpful for everything from performance to immunity and everywhere in between, but the 7 mushrooms in that blend don't contain the agarikon in here. Now, there's really strong evidence that this specific fungi possesses antiviral, antibacterial, and antimicrobial properties. Historically, it's been used to treat a lot of different medical conditions, mostly pulmonary diseases, but mostly we see that, like super shrooms as well, this offers a huge amount of beta glucans to the body, which really helps out with immunity, but also a lot of different processes in the body. Needless to say, this starts off the formula. It's a great start. It isn't specifically as hardcore as some of the other ingredients in there, but as we've seen with a lot of the other Glaxon products, these mushrooms are extremely potent and helpful. So happy to see that they put one in here that you wouldn't find in the other products, so this all kind of stacks together really well. Now, the second ingredient here is going to be citrus bioflavonoids. Citrus bioflavonoids are produced by plants when they encounter infectious microbials. They're known for their heavily antioxidant effects, but also several other properties like antimicrobials and antiviral properties. Now, certain flavonoids can obstruct microbial membranes, but most are going to inactivate cell envelope transport proteins. Basically, it's going to help shut down these microbes and prevent them from either reproducing more or affecting the body more. It actually works hand in hand with lactoferrin, which is coming next at 150 milligrams, but this specific part of the synergistic combo is most important for bonding to these microbes and preventing further replication. Where lactoferrin takes that a step further is that they are not only bacteriostatic, which means that it binds to it and keeps it from replicating more, it is also bactericidal in where it binds to it and actually kills and destroys it. So there you have a bit of a 1-2 punch where they're binding and creating a situation where they're not replicating more, but also binding and making sure that it's killed and destroyed and not affecting the body anymore. So far, I don't think I've ever seen lactoferrin in other immune products, but it seems like it is extremely potent at binding to bacteria and killing them and creating a situation where they're not replicating any further. But it is important to note that because it comes from milk, there is a small amount of dairy. There's only 150 milligrams in here. It is a very small amount of dairy, so if you are extremely sensitive to dairy, that is something important to remember here. Although it's such a small amount, I really can't imagine it affects it that bad. Now, our second to last ingredient here is spirulina. We've seen it in a lot of different products. It's in green products, it's in immune products. It's super helpful. You've seen spirulina shots at Whole Foods, stuff like that. And it's because this is an ingredient that is really full of tons of different micronutrients, from amino acids to minerals to antioxidants, even vitamins and essential fatty acids. In this case, we're looking at the standardization of the 25% phycocyanin, which significantly improves immune function as well as increasing white blood cell count as well as red blood cell. One other thing that I thought was interesting is that it actually lowers allergic responses as well as it increases natural cell killers and cytotoxic T cells. Interestingly enough, this ingredient actually has been used in some products as food coloring because it has a really deep blue, but outside of like foods and stuff like that, we've seen phycocyanin also used because it's cytoprotective, neuroprotective, and hepatoprotective, which I hope I said right. I don't always pronounce these things right, as I've joked about before. Now, those ingredients, they're all cool and well and stuff, but this last ingredient was something that we brought up with Joey in the last supplement industry roundtable, which absolutely blew my mind. If you look at it, prebiotic bacteriophages as PricePlow, it's a trademarked ingredient. It's a prebiotic, which it's kind of cool, it's interesting, but why would we use a prebiotic in immune product? What's so cool about this is actually, if you go over to their site, they have an incredible video talking about this, but Joey kind of put it in a much more savage way, pun intended, because that's actually his last name, but these are actual DNA and RNA strands protected, and I think this is even in a DR cap. Yeah, it's in a DR cap, so it gets deposited all the way in the intestines that actually go in, that they kill bad bacteria, and that bad bacteria is actually used, the corpses are used as nutrition and help as food for the good bacteria. So one of the problems with taking probiotics is that there's not a lot of room for them, and they can actually be killed by bad bacteria within the body. So you end up with gas and kind of just spinning your wheels. So if you take something like this, PricePlow, the idea is that it's going to go in and clean out the area, make sure that the bad bacteria is out so that there is the ability to actually accept good bacteria from probiotics, yogurt, kefir, stuff like that. So one of the biggest parts of immunity is gut health. So of course, a prebiotic that does this sort of thing where it actually removes bad bacteria, instead of just focusing on giving the best bacteria you can, actually creating a better biome and environment for that good bacteria to flourish, obviously is going to be one of the biggest parts of producing better immunity is having a healthier gut. We know time and time again that the gut is the second brain, and it's a huge part of the immune system. So super excited to see this ingredient. I started using the product, obviously, like, I'm not sick and it's not making me better. It's not medicine, but I haven't been sick since I started using it. In today's day and age, I can't really tell you this is going to help you with the coronavirus, but there's a lot of things in here that are more than just your regular vitamin C and stereotypical immune products. So obviously we can never make the claim that this is going to help you with something as large as a pandemic or whatever, but it seems to me like with ingredients like this, you want to put yourself in the best situation with the best immune system, the best, healthiest body you possibly can. So there's a lot of ingredients here that really make sense for 2020, for helping yourself stay sick-free and, you know, staying in the game. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here. As always, with almost all Glaxon products, there's something way different out there. So super excited about Arc Immune. Very, very different product out there. Not your stereotypical immune product. If you have any questions about Glaxon, you can leave them below, or you can go over to PricePlow.com/Glaxon for your news, reviews, and interviews on their company. I'd love to talk to you about it below if you have any questions, but if you don't, that's totally cool. I really appreciate you watching the video anyway. You can use coupon code PricePlow for, I think, 15 or 20% off all Glaxon products. They are pretty affordable. We just make it a little bit easier for you. As always, we do have a business affiliate relationship with them, so, you know, if you're a lawyer, don't get mad at me. This is a little bit biased. Sure, I actually really like the company. I like the people, and we do have a business relationship, but you can't deny that their products are absolutely revolutionary and innovative in the industry. So guys, thank you so much for watching this way through. I know it's been a crazy year of immune products, but this one seems to be a little bit more standout to me. So I appreciate you watching and have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.